Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Scha Om Ajnana Timarandasha Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun militam yena tasma shigurave namah Gurva bhistam supurakam guruganarasisha sambhushitam Chintya chintya samasta veda nipanam shirupa patanugam Govinda vidam ujjvalam bharatanum bhaktyan vidam sundaram Bande vishwagurun sha divyat bhagavat premna ve bijapradam Devam divyatanum suchanda varanam balarka chelanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Bandetam Shubharam Maraika Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanshakopatarubyasya Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Varata Vishay Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, with translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Antya-lila chapter 7, the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu and Vallabha Bhatta. Chaitanya Charanam Bhoja Makaranda Liho Bhaje Yesham Prasara Matrena Pamaropi amaro bhavet. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu. Simply by the causeless mercy of the devotees engaged in licking honey from his lotus feet, even a fallen soul becomes eternally liberated. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Varshantare Jata Gauder Bhakta Gana Aila Purvavat Mahaprabhu Sabare Milila. The next year all the devotees of Bengal went to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu, and as previously the Lord met each and every one of them. Emata Vilasa Prabhura Bhaktagan Loya Hinakale Vallabha Bhatta Milila Asya. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu performed his pastimes with his devotees. Then a learned scholar named Vallabha Bhatta went to Jagannath Puri to meet the Lord. Asya Bandila Bhatta Prabhura Charane Prabhu Bhagavat Bhuje Koila Lingane. When Vallabha Bhatta arrived, he offered his obeisances at the lotus feet of the Lord. Accepting him as a great devotee, the Lord embraced him. Manyakore Prabhutare Nikate Basaila Vinoe Koriya Bhatta Kohite Lagila. With great respect, Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu seated Vallabha Bhatta near him. Then Vallabha Bhatta very humbly began to speak. Bahudin Manorata Toma Dekibare Jagannatha Purna Koila Dekilun Tomare. For a long time he said, I have desired to see you, my Lord. Now Lord Jagannath has fulfilled this desire. therefore I am seeing you. Tomara darshana jay pai se bhagyavan, tomake dekiye jena sakat bhagavan. One who receives your audience, one who receives your darshan, is fortunate indeed, for you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Tomare jay smarana kore se hoy pavitra, darshane pavitra habe ite ki vichitra. Since one who remembers you is purified, why should it be astonishing that one becomes purified by seeing you? Yesham samsmaranat pumsamam sadya shudyanti vaigrihaha kim punar darshana sparsha para socha shanadibi. One can immediately purify his entire house simply by remembering exalted personalities, to say nothing of directly seeing them, touching their lotus feet, washing their feet, or offering them places to sit. One can immediately purify his entire house simply by remembering exalted personalities, to say nothing of directly seeing them, touching their lotus feet, washing their feet, or offering them places to sit. Kali Kaler Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtan, Krishna Shakti Bina Nahe Tara Pravartan. The fundamental religious system in the age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Unless empowered by Krishna, one cannot propagate the Sankirtan movement. Taha Pravartaila Tumi Eta Brahman, Krishna Shakti Dara Tumi Ite Nahi An. You have spread the Sankirtan movement of Krishna consciousness. Therefore it is evident that you have been empowered by Lord Krishna. There is no question about it. Jagate Korila Tumi Krishna Nama Prakashe, Jai Toma Deke Se Krishna Premi Bashe. You have manifested the holy name of Krishna throughout the entire world. Anyone who sees you is immediately absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna. Prema Parakashanahe Krishna Shakti Bine, Krishna Ek Prema Datta Shastra Pramane. Without being especially empowered by Krishna, one cannot manifest love of Krishna, for Krishna is the only one who gives ecstatic love. That is the verdict of all revealed scriptures. Sanvavatara Bahava Pushkara Navasya Sarvato Badra Krishna Anya Koval Latas Vapi Prema Dobhavati. There may be many auspicious incarnations of the personality of Godhead, but who other than Krishna can bestow love of God upon the surrendered souls? Mahaprabhu Kohe Shuna Bhakta Mahamati Mayavadi Sanyasyami Najani Krishna Bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu replied, My dear Vallabha Bhatta, you are a learned scholar. Kindly listen to me. I'm a sannyasi of the Mayavad school. Therefore, I have no chance of knowing what Krishna Bhakti is. Advaita Charya Gosai Sakat Ishvara Tara Sange Amara Mana Oila Nirmala. Nevertheless, my mind has become purified because I have associated with Advaita Charya, who is directly the Lord Himself. Sarva Shastre Krishna Bhakti Nahi Jarasam Ateva Dvaita Charya Tara Nam. He is empowered in his understanding of all the revealed scriptures and the devotional service of Lord Krishna. Therefore, he is called Advaita Charya. Jahara Kripate Mulecher Hoy Krishna Bhakti Ke Gohite Paretara Vaishnavata Shakti He is such a great personality that by his mercy he can convert even the Mulechas, or the Muslims, to the devotional service of Krishna, who therefore can estimate the power of his Vaishnavism. Nityananda Vaduta Sakadishwar Bhavonmade Mata Krishna Primara Sagar. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, the Avadut, is also directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is always intoxicated with the madness of ecstatic love. Indeed, he is an ocean of love of Krishna. Shaddarshana Veta Bhattacharya Sarvabhauma Shaddarshane Jagat Guru Bhagavatottama. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya perfectly knows the 6 philosophical theses. He is therefore the spiritual master of the entire world in teaching the 6 paths of philosophy. He is the best of devotees. Teho Dekaila More Bhakti Jogapar Tara Prasade Janilun Krishna Bhakti Jogasar. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has shown me the limit of devotional service. Only by his mercy have I understood the devotional service to Krishna is the essence of all mystic yoga. Ramananda Rai Krishna Rasera Nidan Deho Janaila Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. Srila Ramananda Rai is the ultimate knower of the transcendental rasas of Lord Krishna's devotional service. He has instructed me that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tate Prima Bhakti Purushottama Shiromani. Tate Prima Bhakti Purushartha Shiromani. Ragamarge Prima Bhakti Sarvadika Jani. Through the mercy of Ramananda Rai, I have understood that ecstatic love of Krishna is the highest goal of life, and that spontaneous love of Krishna is the highest perfection. Dasya Sakya Vatsalya Araje Shringar Dasya Sakya Guru Kanta Ashrayas Jahar. The servant, friend, superior, and conjugal lover are the shelters of the transcendental mellows called Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Sringara. Aishvarya Gyan Jukta Kevala Bhava Ar Aishvarya Gyanena Pai Brajendra Kumar. There are 2 kinds of emotion, bhava. Emotion with an understanding of the Lord's full opulences is called Aishvarya Gyan Jukta. And pure, uncontaminated emotion is called Kevala. One cannot achieve shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, simply by knowing his opulences. Nayam Sukapa Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sutta Jnaninam Shatma Bhutanam Yata Bhakti Matamiha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to those devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. Atma Bhuta Shabde Kohe Parishad Gun. Atma Bhuta Shabde Kohe Parishad Gana. Aishvarya Gyane Lakmi Napaila Brajendra Nandana. The word Atma Bhuta means personal associates. Through the understanding of the Lord's opulences, the goddess of fortune could not receive the shelter of Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Nayam Shriyonga Unitanta Rate Prasara Svaryoshitam Malina Ganda Rucham Kutonya Vatsotsavesha Bhujadanda Grihita Kanta Labda Shisham Ya Uragad Vraja Sundarinam. When Lord Sri Krishna was dancing with the gopis in the Rasa-lila, the gopis were embraced around the neck by the Lord's arms. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, or the other consorts in the spiritual world, nor was such a thing ever imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets, girls whose bodily luster and aroma resembled the beauty and fragrance of lotus flowers. And what to speak of worldly women who may be very, very beautiful according to material estimation. Yeah, just close that door. When Lord Krishna was dancing with the gopis in the Rasa-lila, the gopis were embraced around the neck by the Lord's arms. This transcendental favor was never bestowed upon the goddess of fortune or the other consorts in the spiritual world, nor was such a thing ever imagined by the most beautiful girls in the heavenly planets, girls whose bodily luster and aroma resemble the beauty and fragrance of lotus flowers. And what to speak of worldly women who may be very, very beautiful according to material estimation. Shuddhabhave Sakakore Skande Arohan Shuddhabhave Brajeshwari Korana Bandhan. In pure Krishna consciousness, a friend mounts the shoulder of Krishna and Mother Yashoda binds the Lord. Mora Sukha Mora Putra E Shudaman Ateva Shuka Vyasa Kore Prashan Sham. Mora Sukha Mora Putra E Shudaman Ateva Shuka Vyasa Kore Prashan. In pure Krishna consciousness, without knowledge of the Lord's opulences, a devotee considers Krishna his friend or son. Therefore, this devotional aptitude is praised even by Sukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva, the supreme authority. Itam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasham gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradar darakena sakam brajul krita punya punjaha. Neither those who are engaged in self-realization, appreciating the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, nor those engaged in devotional service while accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Master, nor those who are under the clutches of Maya, thinking the Lord an ordinary person, can understand that certain exalted personalities, after accumulating volumes of pious activities, are now playing with the Lord in friendship as cowherd boys. So, Vallabha Bhatta began by praising Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu, in praising all his devotees, starting his going Advaita Charya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and so many personalities, he is telling to giving to Vallabha Bhatta the understanding that the Lord is not alone. He's surrounded by affection and love and very exalted devotees. So Mahaprabhu is glorifying them. Traya chapani shadbhischa shangya yogaischa sattvatai upagiyamana mahatmyam harim shamanya tatmajam. When Mother Yashoda saw all the universes within Krishna's mouth, she was astonished for the time being. The Lord is worshipped like Indra and other demigods by the followers of the three Vedas who offer him sacrifices. He is worshipped as impersonal Brahman by saintly persons who understand his greatness through studying the Upanishads, as the Purusha by great philosophers who analytically study the universe, as the all-pervading Supersoul by great yogis, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees. Nevertheless, Mother Yashoda considered the Lord her own son. So this is giving contrast between Aishvarya Gyan and Kevala Bhakti. Aishvarya Gyan is knowledge of the Lord's opulences, but the intimate devotees like Mother Yashoda, like Krishna's friends, they have a spontaneous connection with the Lord, and it's not through study, it's not through formalities, it's not through knowledge, it's not through Aishvarya Gyan, understanding the Lord's opulences, but it comes, as the previous verse mentioned, that even exalted personalities cannot understand that certain persons, after accumulating volumes of pious activities, are now playing with the Lord in friendship as cowherd boys. So we see that Lord Brahma was confused by that, looking, oh, they're ordinary boys, but no. After they've passed through and been engaged in all religious activities, all forms of knowledge, all forms of pilgrimage, all forms of austerities, they've attained this position, even appearing as small boys, but in the Lord's entourage, as the Lord's associates. Nandakim makarod Brahman Shreya evam Mahodayam Yashodava Mahabhaga Papo Yasha Stanam Hari. O Brahmana, what pious activities did Nanda Maharaj perform to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna as his son? And what pious activities did Mother Yashoda perform that made Lord Krishna call her mother and suck her breasts? Aishvarya Dekileha Shudera Nahi Aishvarya Gyan Ateva Aishvarya Hoite Kevala Bhava Pradhan. Even if a pure devotee sees the opulence of Krishna, he does not accept it. Therefore, pure consciousness is more exalted than consciousness of the Lord's opulences. Esava Shikaila Mori Raya Ramananda Anargala Rasa Veda Prema Sukhananda. Ramananda Roy is extremely aware of transcendental mellows. He is incessantly absorbed in the happiness of ecstatic love of Krishna. It is he who has taught me all this. Kahanana Jai Ramanandar Prabhav Raya Prasade Janilun Brajara Shudabhav. It is impossible to describe the influence and knowledge of Ramananda Roy, for only by his mercy have I understood the unalloyed love of the residents of Vrindavan. Damodara Swarup Prema Rasa Murtiman Jara Sange Hoila Braja Madhura Rasa Gyan The transcendental mellows of ecstatic love are personified by Swarup Damodar. By his association, I have understood Vrindavan's transcendental mellow of conjugal love, Madhura Ras. Shuddha Prema Braja Devir Kama Gandahin Krishna Sukha Tatparya Etarachina. The unalloyed love of the gopis and Srimati Radharani is without any trace of material lust. The criterion of such transcendental love is that its only purpose is to satisfy Krishna. Yatte sujata charanam buruham staneshu bita shanai priya darimahi karkaseshu tena tavim atmasi tad vyatate nakim sweet Kurpadibir Brahmati dear Bhavad Ayusham Naha. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your fate may be hurt. Our lives rest only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet may be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Gopi Ganer Shuddha Prema Aishvarya Gyanhin Premite Vartsana Kare Etarachina. Obsessed with pure love without knowledge of opulences, the gopis sometimes chastise Krishna. That is a symptom of pure ecstatic love. Pati Satan Vaya Pratri Bandhavan Ati Valangya Tenti Achuta Gataha Katividas Tavod Gita Mohita Kitava Yoshita Kas Tyajenishi. My dear Krishna, we gopis have neglected the order of our husbands, sons, family, brothers, and friends, and have left their company to come to you. You know everything about our desires. We have come only because we are attracted by the supreme music of your flute, but you are a great cheater, for who else would give up the company of young girls like us in the dead of night? Sarvotama Bhajana Sarva Bhakti Jani Ateva Krishna Kohe Amit Tomara Rani. The conjugal love of the gopis is the most exalted devotional service, surpassing all other methods of bhakti. Therefore, Lord Krishna is obliged to say, my dear gopis, I cannot repay you. Indeed, I am always indebted to you. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ye yata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajami aham. He says, as they surrender to me, I reward them. But here, Mahaprabhu explains that is true in general, but in the case of the gopis, they are so much engaged in loving devotion to him and without any other consideration that Krishna says, normally I say, ye yatam mam prapadyante, that is, they surrender to me, I also reward them or surrender proportionately. But in the case of the gopis, there's no way I can repay them for their love. It is so beyond even my consideration that there's nothing I can do to compensate them for their selfless devotion. And here this is expressed by the Lord. Na parayeham Niravadya Samyujam Svasara Krityam Vibhudasha Yushapivaha Naparayeham Niravadya Samyujam Svasara Krityam Vibhuda Yushapiyava Yan Mabhajan Durjaya Geha Shringala Samrishcha Tadva Pratiyatu Sadhuna. O Gopis, I am unable to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties, which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation. Well, Krishna says, I can't repay you. Even if I had a lifetime as long as that of Lord Brahma, I could not repay you. Aishvarya Gyan Hoite Kevala Bhava Pradhan Prativide Bhakta Nahi Udava Samana. Completely distinct from love of Krishna and opulence, pure love of Krishna is on the highest level. On the surface of the world, there is no devotee greater than Uddhava. So there are those devotees who worship the Lord in Aishvarya Gan because they know He's the Lord, because He is the source of all opulences. In a mood of awe and majesty, they worship the Lord. But here, Mahaprabhu explains, completely distinct from love of Krishna and opulence, pure love of Krishna is on the highest level. So worshipping the Lord out of awe and reverence, he says, that is not as exalted as the worship of the Lord in pure love. On the surface of the world, there is no devotee greater than Uddhava. Deho jarapara duli korana prartana swarupera sange pailun esab shikana Uddhava. No. Uddhava desires to take on his head the dust of the gopis' lotus feet. I have learned about all these transcendental loving affairs of Lord Krishna from Swarup Damodar. Uddhava, when he came to bring message from Radharani to Krishna, when he came to Vrindavan, Uddhava prayed, let me take birth as a plant here in Vrindavan so that I can get the dust on my head of the gopis. Teho jara paradule korana prartana swarupera sange pailun esab shikana. Uddhava desires to take on his head the dust of the gopis' lotus feet. I have learned about all these transcendental loving affairs of Lord Krishna from Swarup Damodar. Asamaho Chanana Renu Jusham Maham Sham Vrindavane Kim Api Goma Latoshadainam Yadustyajam Swajanam Aryapatam Nahitva Ye Dustyajam Swajanam Aryapatam Chahitva Bejor Mukunda Paravim Shrutibir Vimgriyam Aham Aho Charana Renu Jushamaham Sham Vrindavane Kim Api Goma Latoshadinam Yadustyajam Swajanam Aryapatam Chahitva Bejor Mukunda Paravim Shrutibir Vimrigyam. The gopis of Vrindavan have given up the association of their husbands, sons, and other family members who are very difficult to give up, and they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to become one of the bushes, creepers, or herbs in Vrindavan, for the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of their lotus feet. So this is spoken by Uddhava. Haridas Thakura Maha Bhagavata Pradhan Pratidin Loyateho Tin Lakam Nam. Haridas Thakur, the teacher of the Acharya of the Holy Name, is the most exalted of all pure devotees. Every day he chants 300,000 holy names of the Lord. Namera Mahima Ami Tara Tai Shikilun Tara Prasade Namer Mahima Janilun. I've learned about the glories of the Lord's holy name from Haridas Thakur, and by his mercy I have understood these glories. Acharyatna, Acharyani, Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Pandita Gadadhar, Jagadananda Damodara, Shankara Brakeshwar, Kashishwara Mukunda, Vasudeva Murari, Arajata Bhaktagana Gode Avatari, Krishnanama Prema Koila Jagate Prachar, Iho Sabara Sange Krishna Bhakti Jait Amar, Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda, Damodar, Shankar, Vakeshwar, Kashishwar, Mukunda, Vasudeva, Murari, and many other devotees have descended in Bengal to preach to everyone the glories of the holy name of Krishna and the value of love for him. I have learned from them the meaning of devotional service to Krishna. Bhatera Ridoye Drida Abhimana Jani Bangi Kore Mahaprabhu Kohe Eta Bamshi. Bhatera Ridoye Drida Abhimana Jani Bangi Kore Mahaprabhu Kohe Eta Bani. Knowing that Vallabha Bhatta's heart was full of pride, Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu spoke these words, hinting at how one can learn about devotional service. Knowing that Vallabha Bhatta's heart was full of pride, Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu spoke these words, hinting at how one can learn about Krishna's devotional service. Amise Vaishnava Bhakti Siddhanta Sabjani Amise Bhagavata Artha Uttama Bhakani. Vallabha Bhatta was thinking, I am a great Vaishnava. Having learned all the conclusions of Vaishnava philosophy, I can understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and explain it very well. So that was his pride, which is his one of his shortcomings. Vallabha Bhatta was thinking, I'm a great Vaishnava. Having learned all the conclusions of Vaishnava philosophy, I can understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and explain it very well. Bhattera manete e chila dirga garva prabhura Vaishnava shuni jay hoila karva. Bhattera manete e chila dirga garva prabhura bachana shuni say hoila karya. Such pride had existed for a long time within the mind of Vallabha Bhatta, but as he heard the preaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu, his pride was cut down. Prabhuramukhe Vaishnavata Shuniya Sabar Bhattera Icha Hoila Ta Sabare Dekibar. When Vallabha Bhatta heard from the mouth of Mahaprabhu about the pure Vaishnavism of all these devotees, he immediately desired to see them. And Vallabha Bhatta heard from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu about the pure Vaishnavism of all these devotees. He immediately desired to see them. Bhatta kohe esab Vaishnava rahi konstane kan prakashe kori tan prakare paimu iha sabaradarshane bhakta kohe esab Vaishnava rahi konstane kon prakare paimu ihan sabaradarshane. Vallabha Bhatta said, where do all these devotees live and how can I see them? Prabhu kohe keho gode keho deshandare sab ashi jache rata jatra dekibare. Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu replied, although some of them live in Bengal and some in other states, they have all come here to see the Ratha Yatra festival. Ihani rohin sabe basa nam stane ihani paila tumi Sabaradarshane. At present they are living here. Their residences are in At present they are all living here. Their residents are in various quarters. Here you will get the audience of them all. Tabe bata kohe bahu vinoy machana bahudonya kori prabhure koilani mantrana. Thereafter, with great submission and humility, Vallabha Bhatta invited Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu to dine at his home. Aradin Sab Vaishnava Prabhustani Aila Sabha Shane Mahaprabhu Bhate Milaila. The next day, when all the Vaishnavas came to the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahprabhu, the Lord introduced Vallabha Bhatta to them all. Vaishnaver Teja Deki Bhattera Chamatkar Tatsabar Age Bhatta Kadyota Akar Vaishnaver Teja Deki Bhattera Chamatkar Tatsabar Age Bhatta Kaujot Kadyotakar. He was surprised to see the brilliance of their faces. Indeed, among them, Vallabha Bhatta seemed just like a glowworm. So I'm going to stop here. Tomorrow I'll continue. That fire makes me a little sleepy.
It's so comfortable, yes.
Comforting and sleep-inducing. That was one of the reasons why I didn't so much use this in the past, wood stove in the temple because it makes it warm and comfortable when you go to sleep. But the big wood stove in the Prasadam hall out there, if you stoke that up and open this sliding door a little, then the heat comes in here, but it's not as suffocating as this one. Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Vaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Gopa Om Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Om Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Jai Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Janardan Shiva Sari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatha Bhakta Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raguna Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jao Ite Vignana Shavista Puran Jai Gosai Jar Mui Charadan Kasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Pada Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame Janame More Amilan Jai Gosai Jame Braje Koilaban Radha Krishna Antya-lila Korila Pratan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narakamudam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Saparikara Shri Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Joki Jai Jayom Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neriya Maharaj Ki Jai Jayom Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Nirmawacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Jayom Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jayom Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Santa Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishoredas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Prem Sikha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishwavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj ki jai. Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Sri Navadip Dham ki jai. Sri Mayapur ki jai. Saparshada Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Parshada Sri Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Kuladip ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai. Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Shri Ramachari ki jai, Shri Bhakti Chandan Parvat Maharaj ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.